Children, good morning. Myself Bhavna Karya. Welcome you all. We are going to start chapter 3, that is data handling. You have already done this data handling in your previous classes. You have collected various data, for example, number of vehicles which children come during their school hours. You have already done bar graph also. The collection regarding and presenting the data, it helps us to organize our experience and draw inferences from them. You have seen several kinds of data through newspaper, magazine, television, and other sources also. You also know that all data gives us some sort of information. Let us take today's example. In today's newspaper, if you will see that there are many informations are given regarding pandemic that is related to coronavirus. How many new number of cases are there? How many deaths are there? This is just collection of data. You have already seen this since last many days. You also come across number of death also in our country as well as in the world. What does this collection of data tells us? It gives us some types of information that suppose in Maharashtra, number of cases are increasing day by day and it has increased number of cases which were in China. Here in this we are going to revise, review and strengthen what you have studied. Now let us see what are our learning objectives in this chapter. Data and collection of data, organization of data, range, mean, median and mode, bar graph and double bar graph. This is new topic which you are going to study. For this you need your graph book. And last but not the least, chances and probability. Now let us start from the first, meaning of data. A data is a collection of facts in the form of numerical figures to give some information. Let us take an example. Suppose in your unit test or your terminal or your final, you collect your friends' marks and you write down. That is called data. It is because it is given in numerical figure. If suppose you are collecting marks for unit test 1, it is given out of 30. So you write down number of marks of your classmates, of your friends. That is, it may be 28, 30, 30, again 25. It may be that way you collect the data. So that is called data, right? Now second is observation. Now you have written the marks of each individual student and that is figure. This figure is called the observation. You observe from this figure individual marks of each child. So this numerical figure is called observation. It tells you that who is getting how many marks. Next, frequency. The number of times a particular observation occurs in the data is called its frequency. Now, children, let me give an example. It's not that one child gets 28 marks. There may be more than one child who is getting more than 28 marks. So that 28 marks come more than one time, that is called frequency. There may be 5 children who are getting 28 marks out of 30. So frequency will be 5. Data which you collect, you should keep it in mind, specific information for which the data you are collecting is needed for you. It is, suppose if you are collecting marks because you are interested to know that who is getting highest marks in which subject. So that is your data collecting in mind specific information. Let us take an example. Suppose there are 10 students who gave English Olympiad exam in a class. The result is noted by your teacher in the following ways. This is just the numerical figure. You can see there are 10 children whose marks are 23, 35, 48, 30, 25, 46, 13, 27, 32, 38. This is just a raw data. Why? Because you cannot get more information and you are not able to answer questions like maximum marks, minimum marks, out of which. So this information is the fact regarding the number of marks of a student in numerical figure. So it is a data. The data in this form is called raw data. The above data, if you arrange in ascending order, that is, it gives you more information than the above information which you are getting. So let us arrange this information in ascending, or you can do it in descending order. So according to ascending order, first lowest marks we start 13, then higher to that is 23, 25, 27, 30, 32, 35, 38, 46 and 48. So the above marks of 10 children are arranged in the ascending order. When you arrange in ascending order or in descending order, this information of data is called array data. Please remember, array data. Now that information is giving you the answers like maximum marks and the minimum mark. Still, this arranging the data in this form is not giving you much information. Now, we will arrange this information in tabular form. Let us write the name of the children who has appeared for the Olympiad exam and the marks which each child is getting in this order. Now you are getting much more prescribed information because you come to know number of children in your class who gave Olympiad exam, as well as out of how many marks this exam each child is getting. So this is much specific way to understand the table, and it helps you to give answers as and when you require. If you want to know which child is getting the highest marks, at once you can do it by referring this table. That is, Ashish is getting highest marks and Gopi is getting lowest marks. This type of information is giving you much more clear information. This is called tabular form of data arrangement. Now let us write the meaning of tabulation or presentation of data. A systematic arrangement of data in a tabular form is called tabulation or presentation of data. I hope till now it is clear to you. Let us go ahead. Now you have already done frequency table in your previous classes also. Same, we will do it again with one of the example. Let us know first what is frequency distribution table or frequency table. It's one and the same thing. A table showing the frequency of various observation is called frequency distribution table. Frequency means same number which comes more than once. We do the tally marks. I hope you remember in your previous classes you have already done that. Let us take an example. Suppose if you are given few digits, that is, organize the following marks in a class assessment in a table form. You are given these marks of different students: 4, 6, 7, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 2, 6, 2, 5, 1, 9, 6, 5, 8, 4, 6, 7. This is called raw data. Now, if you arrange this in the form of tabular form, with a telemark. This telemark is frequency, which we write down in the next column. 1, suppose it comes how many times? We will first write down from 4. On the left side, we will start the column first, that is marks, that is observation, what you are going to observe. Here we are having marks, so we will write down marks. Lowest marks in this is 1 and highest marks in this, if you will see, it is 9. So here we will start from 1 and continue till 9. On the left side of first column, we will start observation, because here in this we are going to observe the marks. Now in the second column, we will write the number of frequency in telemarks form, that is how many times each marks are appearing. So that is called telemarks. And then in the third column, we will write the number of students who are getting how many marks in front of that according to the frequency. You have already mentioned it as a telebar. So let us start with 4. 4, we will have it marks 4. This is your observation. We will do the telemark once. Then comes 6. Again we will go to 6 observation marks, that is we'll do the telemark here, and then we go to 7, that is third digit observation. We will observe that this observation marks, we will do the telemarks in this column as a telemark. Again we will go with 5 and see the observation, that is marks in this column, and do the telemark. So you can see, children, we will consider all this one by one. So if you consider 4, let us count 1, 2, 3. How many times 4 appears? 3 times. So it shows that 3 children are getting 4 marks. So like this, as we did in 4, we continue for all the numbers, that is your observation from 1 to 9, and rewrite the from telemarks number of student, that is frequency. And you can see we have considered all the marks in frequency telebar and we have written the frequency. So the total of this is 20, and this also will come to 20. Now how do we prepare this table? Let us see. You can see that observation is on the left side, first column. Telemarks is in the second column, and number of frequency, that is number of children here, is in the third column. Here you can see, children, that I have done 1 mark, 2 mark, because these are coming in this format. Here I have made the bunch of 5. This is for the convenience to count it when number of children are more than that. So it is easy to count the number of frequency in this bunch. So 5. Like that, you may have 5 plus something. You can write down frequency very quickly. Here I have given you how to prepare frequency distribution table. Different observations are written in extreme left column. That is, we have written marks in our previous table. We take each observation from the row data one at a time and mark a stroke, and that is called telemark, in the next column, opposite to the particular value of observation. For convenient, we write telemarks in bunch of 5. The fifth one is cross the 4 diagonally. You can see 4 are vertical and the fifth one is diagonally. The number of telemarks opposite to a particular value of observation is its frequency. This frequency is written in the next column of the telemarks, that is called frequency. This table make it very easy to answer any question as it is systematically made. Now in this class you are going to learn few more concepts other than data or graphs or etc. which you have learned. That first is range. What do you mean by range? Let us come to this. You can see that observation lowest is 1 and highest is 9. Now Just see what is range. The difference between highest observation and the lowest observation is called the range of the data. The range gives an idea of a specific spread of the data. So let us convert it in the formula form. When you have to find out from any data range, how will you get it? Range is equal to highest observation minus lowest observation. So if you take the previous example, as I showed you just now, range is highest observation minus lowest observation. Highest observation was 9 marks and lowest observation was 1 mark. So what is the range? 8. This is your range. Now we come to next topic. What do we mean by average? Isha spent an average of about 5 hours daily for her studies. It does not tell you how many actually today he is going to learn. It is an average mark, suppose for the whole week. It may be that Monday she studied for 6 hours, Tuesday she studied for 4 hours, Wednesday again she studied for 5 hours. So it is all added for the week total, and you have already done that it is average. That is, few days she may have learned more than 5 hours or few days she may have learned less than 5 hours. But average is 5 hours she studies. The average age of student in your class is 12 years. Suppose it may be that your friend's birthday is in August and yours birthday comes in June. So there will be minor difference, but the average age of your class will be around 12 years. It may be less than 12 years, that may be months, or it may be more than 12 years, that may be in 12 and a half year or 13 years. Average is the number that represents or shows the central tendency of a group of observation or data. So what is the central tendency? If you take the previous example, it is Isha spends in her studies the time. That is, the central tendency of Isha is 5 hours. Same if you take age of the student of your class, what is the central tendency? It is 12 years. Average lies between the highest and the lowest value of the given data. Different form of data need different form of representation or central value to describe it. Here we have taken hours in Isha when he studies for number of hours. In second example, we have taken years. So central value depends on what we are going to represent different form. Representative values. It is also called central values. Different form of data needs different form of representative values to describe it. First, we will take mean. It is also called arithmetic mean. This is the most common representative value of a group of data is the mean or arithmetic mean. In statistics, the term average is also called mean or arithmetic mean and is denoted by capital M. Average is a number that represents or shows the central value or tendency of a group of observation or data. To find mean of the observations, we find the sum of all the observations and then divide the sum by the total number of observations. So the formula to find mean is equal to sum of observation upon number of observation. Sum will be in numerator and number of observation will be in denominator. Let us take an example, children. First example, Isha studied for 6 hours, 4 hours and 5 hours respectively on 3 consecutive days. So how do we find the mean? That is also called average. Total number of study hours upon number of days for which she studied. So total number of study hours are 6 hours, 4 hours and 5 hours. So we add 6 plus 4 plus 5, that will give us 15, upon number of days for which she studied. Number of days are 3 consecutive days. So we divide by 3 and we get 15 upon 3 as 5 hours per day. Hence, we can say Isa studied for 5 hours on an average. So your mean of this is 5 hours. Let us take one more example. A cricketer scored the following run in 8 innings. How many innings a cricketer plays? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. In first inning, 58 runs he scored. Likewise that in second inning he scored 76. Third inning he got 40 runs. Fourth inning he got 35 runs. Fifth inning he scored 46 runs. Then he scored 45, 0 and 100. So to find the mean, we add the sum of observation, that is the score he got it in 8 innings, that is 58 plus 76 plus 40 plus 35, 46, 45, 0 and 100. And now number of innings the cricketer plays is 8, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we divide by 8, and when you add children, sum of this observation will be 400. If you divide with 8, you get 50. Hence, the mean score of a cricketer is 50 runs. Okay, now we have to remember that it is not necessary that the value of mean, that is, we got the value of mean here 50. It may not be in the observation which we are given here. You can see here 58, 76, 40, 35, 46, 45, 0, 100. We do not have in this observation 50, but we got mean as 50. In the previous example, we got mean as 5 hours. It was there. So, it is not necessary that value of mean is same as any of the observation of given data. It may be or may not be. Okay, children, this much is for today. In next section, we will meet. By that time, goodbye.